If you're an Amazon seller, you absolutely know this feeling. You've made the sale, the product is delivered, but finding that specific payment in your reports, yeah, it can feel like you're searching for a needle in a haystack. Well, today, we're going to give you the magnet that finds that needle every single time.
It's the big question, right? It can keep you up at night. The sale's done, the customer's happy, but your accounting sheet has this big, glaring question mark where the money should be. You know, it's a frustration every seller feels. But believe it or not, there's a really simple, logical system behind it all, and we're about to crack it wide open together.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the mystery itself. Then we'll uncover the one clue that honestly changes everything. From there, we'll follow the two different paths that clue can lead us down. See how it all works with a real-world example, and then finish up with a cheat sheet so you'll never get lost again. Ready? Let's jump in.
All right, first up, the missing payment mystery. You know that feeling when a payment just seems to vanish into thin air? Well, it's not really a mystery, if you know where to look first. The secret isn't about digging through a dozen different reports. It's all about knowing the one single place to start your search.
And that one place, your absolute master key, is the transactions view. It really doesn't matter if the order is a day old or a year old. Your hunt for any payment always begins right here. This is your single source of truth. Look, this is probably the most important step in the entire process. Before you open any other report, before you do anything else at all, take that order ID you're hunting for and search for it directly in the transactions view. This one move is the non-negotiable first step that just cuts through all the noise.
And honestly, it couldn't be simpler. In your Seller Central dashboard, you're just going to navigate to Payments, then click on the Transactions View tab. You'll see a search box there that says Find a Transaction. Just pop your order ID in there, hit Search, and that's it.
And that one little search gives you the two most important pieces of the puzzle. First, the posted date, and trust me, we'll circle back to why that date is so critical. And second, the transaction status. It's going to say one of two things, either released or deferred.
And that one word, released or deferred, is your fork in the road. It tells you exactly which path to take next. If it says released, well, the money's ready, and we've got a couple of reports to check. If it says deferred, the money is on hold, and we have to look in a totally different place.
So let's go down that first path. What happens when your transaction status is released? This is the happy path, right? It means the funds are available or they've already been paid out. So here's where you find them.
Your first stop should be the settlement report. This one's perfect for matching up with your bank payouts. Just go to your statement view and generate a new report. Now, the crucial detail here is to pick a settlement period that includes that posted date you found in your first search.
Okay, your second option is the date range report, which is fantastic for more detailed accounting. The process is pretty similar. You generate a custom report, and you just make sure the date range you pick includes that all-important posted date. If you do that, I guarantee your payment will be right there.
Okay, but what if the status isn't released? Let's talk about Path 2, deferred payments. This is where most of the confusion happens for people, but it's just as logical once you know the one simple rule.
And here is that rule. This is so important. If a transaction status is deferred, you will not, I repeat, will not find it in a settlement report or a date range report. Searching there will just lead to frustration because the payment simply isn't in those files yet.
So, where is it? Well, it's just waiting patiently in its own special report. You'll go to the Reports repository, but this time, you're going to select Deferred Transactions from that report type dropdown. This is the only place you'll find details on that payment while it's on hold.
And this report is actually incredibly useful. It doesn't just tell you the payment is on hold, it tells you why it's on hold. Like maybe it's a delivery-based deferral, and most importantly, it gives you the expected release date, so you're no longer just guessing in the dark. So we've seen the two separate paths. Now let's really connect the dots. We're going to follow one single payment on its entire journey, from being deferred all the way to getting released. This is where it's all going to click.
Okay, let's follow the timeline. An order ships on January 1st. It gets delivered on the 4th, which kicks off a 7-day deferral. So for that whole week, its status is deferred, and it lives only in the deferred report. Then, on January 11th, the magic happens. The status flips to released. It disappears from the deferred report, and now, finally, it shows up in your regular settlement or date range reports.
And that right there is the absolute core of all of this.
The posted date, January 11th at our example, is the day the money was actually made available. It's not when the order was placed or even when it was delivered. Understanding this is a total game changer for accurate accounting because it means you can properly manage your cash flow and forecast your revenue with real confidence.
We've covered a lot of ground, so let's boil it all down into a final, simple cheat sheet. These are the rules that are going to empower you to find any payment every single time without fail.
Here it is. Number 1. Always start with the order ID and transactions view. Number 2. Let the status, released or deferred, tell you where to go next. Released payments? They're in your settlement or date range reports. Deferred ones? They're in the deferred transactions report. And finally, always use the posted date as your guide for picking the right time frame for your reports. So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. For accounting, an Amazon Payments life begins on its posted date. That's the day it's released from being on hold. Not the order date, not the delivery date. Everything revolves around that single, final release date.
And there you have it. No more mystery, no more guesswork. You now have a foolproof method for tracking down every single dollar. So the only question left is, with this newfound clarity and control over your finances, what part of your business are you going to improve next?